So that's nice. Of course, there are missing functionalities. For example, we don't have image upload. We don't display the image of the sender or the username of the sender here next to our messages. But before we dive into any of that, let's actually see whether this works and if two devices, two simulators can talk to each other. For that, I'll also run this on iOS here. I'll stop this process here and entirely rerun it on Android once, so that this new latest version is installed on Android, so that when I kill it the next time I can still start it on the device. Otherwise I would have started an older state of the app, which of course I don't want. So now with this running, I can kill this again, but now I can launch it through the app drawer and get this latest state. And now I will launch it on iOS. Now to launch it on iOS, I'll bring up that status bar in Visual Studio Code and click here on my emulator down there and start the iOS simulator. Alternatively, you can simply start it through Xcode, so that now this iOS emulator is booting up. And with that booted, I'll run Flutter on that. Since it's selected down there, when I run the Flutter app, it will run on this device. So now this is building the app for iOS and will launch it there. And since this is the first time I'm running it, it's also doing all the initial setup of the packages I added to the app and so on. So this can take a bit longer. And what you might observe here is that it basically gets stuck and it shows this strange error, configuring the default Firebase app first through call stack. If you're getting this, you can simply cancel this launch process on iOS and simply make sure that you open this project, the iOS folder there, through Xcode. And then here, click on Runner, right-click on it, and choose Add Files to Runner. And now here, choose this Google Service Info plist file again, which we downloaded and stored in this folder earlier. Click Add and add it through Xcode like this. It's still in the same location, but this makes Xcode aware of it, so to say. So once you did that, you can try running this app again. So again, go to Run, make sure you selected the iPhone or whatever simulator you are using, and launch the Flutter app again. And now this time, it should work. So let's wait again. So now I got this app up and running here, and I'll simply create a new account here, test2 at test.com, with a different username and my password, and I click sign up to create this user. Now here I see all the messages are not by me. This makes sense. And if I send a message here, this is a test from the other device and user. If I send this message here, you see it appear here and you see it appear on the left. So this now works from this user. On the other hand, of course, also shows up on the right device, but here it shows up as if it's not from this user, because it isn't, because I'm working on two different users on those two devices. So that is pretty amazing. This works pretty well, and we can see that the app works on both devices and that we're able to chat. Now, needless to say, of course, the other functionalities like logout and so on also still should work. Let's just test it real quick for completeness sake. Yeah, looks good to me. So we got this basic chat functionality going on, but right now it's hard to tell from whom a message is coming. It would be better if we could also see the username, at least, of the user who wrote the message. Maybe like a fat title above the actual message that tells us who the user is that wrote this message. This is what we're going to add next.